your audience button. I'll hit it for you. It's right here.
There are these like extra little features you got to put on there, and I don't mess it up. I'm not the tech guy.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, we're live.
let's see. I think we're live. Zach, do you know the little song thingy we can play?
Yes, I do. Wait, our intro, you mean?
Yeah, do you guys want to do our song intro, or do you want to do no intro? And then you guys can put your own thing on it, or...
No.
I mean, I can...
I have
Deric. Okay. Oh, he did a mashup one. All right.
There we go. Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
I think we're ready.
All right, here we go.
Welcome to Off the Cut.
You're listening to the Shop Sounds podcast.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
Harder, slicker, and longer lasting.
I don't care how long it is.
It is revolutionizing the woodworking world.
Maybe you're looking at it from the wrong angle.
Oh, well, that's why I waited till after the ad read.
Hell yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hell yeah.
All right, folks, let's start the insanity.
If I'm going to put money into this, it's going to be great. And I guarantee it.
Get it. Deric.
Very
That
nice,
might
Deric.
be the best intro I've ever heard. I see
Well
Jason's over there like,
Thank
what just happened?
Wow.
We're all surprised. This is what happens when you have a professional producer working on
I
your
think so, yeah.
podcast.
Hey, well, everybody, welcome to Off the Cut episode.
And Shop Sounds.
Oh, and Shop Sounds, episode 157. And what episode? You guys-
119. Dang, we got to catch up.
No, you
Oh,
don't.
boy. It's not about quantity. It's about quality.
Right. For Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. And a little birdie tells me, Keith, that you want to tell me about router bits?
Yeah, man. Our buddies over at Bits and Bits, longtime supporter of us, the community, everybody. Who are they, you ask? Well, they make premium bits for routers in the CNC right here in the US of A. No tariffs, baby. Sorry, Canada.
Damn it, Keith.
Not only do they make them bits, they also throw them in a vat of their proprietary Astra HB coating, which makes it longer, harder, slicker, longer lasting, which it's basically liquid blue chew for router bits. So don't forget to stop by their new tools page as well at bitsbits.com, because they're always putting up new stuff, new swag, new tools, and they are also an authorized Festool dealer. So head to bitsbits.com and use coupon code morsels15 to save 15% on your next order of router or CNC bits, because every time you use that coupon code, my morsels feel like a naked innocent boy roaming the countryside.
Oh, boy.
Good Lord.
That's
Well,
how
you know,
I
bits and
always
bit-
describe them.
I've never seen them.
It's on my birth certificate like that.
Yeah. Well, Bits and Bits isn't the only place you should be visiting. We also, everybody knows this, both shows are sponsored by KM Tools, and everything over there is either made by Jonathan and his elves or by folks like, like Jason. You guys have made some lovely stuff over there with Bourbon
That's
Blade.
me.
I got my bourbon blade right behind me right now.
Oh,
Which
nice.
did you realize in your most recent video that you might have leaked something that you guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
developing?
That's all intentional. You gotta tease it a little bit, right?
Because I was like, I wonder if you realized that was there. And at the point you put in the video, it's probably like, well, it's too late now.
Yeah,
But you're hyping it up, right?
exactly.
Well, the good thing
Creating a
about
buzz.
yeah, the good thing about supporting fellow makers and everybody else over at kmtools.com is that a portion of all their sales goes directly towards the Katz Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund, which gets tools and resources into the hands of folks who need it most.
Mhm.
And it is the first episode. No, it's not the first episode of the month.
No.
Next month, we are giving away a $50 gift card to kmtools.com that all you have to do is go over. Yeah, every month. Patreon.com/offthecut-podcast automatically entered to win. Yeah, Shop Sounds doesn't do that, huh?
Oh, yeah, we're giving away a bourbon blade every week, so top that.
Yeah, for the
think
low
Jason
price
gave
of
away enough.
$159.99.
Free shipping, though.
But there's something else you guys wanted to tell me
Oh
about?
yeah, has anybody ever told you use the phrase "get a grip" and you're like, I don't know what to do with that? How does one get a grip? Well, now you can literally
me.
get a grip with Get grip, get grip.
Sandpaper?
What's it?
Sponges?
What's the technical term?
Gift grip.
No, the name of the company. I'm losing it.
Grit grip. Grit grip.
Wait, I
Grip.
thought this was a bit.
Grit grip. That's it.
I thought-
I just couldn't find the right words to put together after I said grit and grip a lot. Anyways, Grit Grip is a sponsor of this podcast. And if you're like, what is that? They're handy little pads that you sand things with, but they're not just regular sandpaper. They're double-sided sandpaper. They got a little cushion in there. So if you want to fold them in half, you can fold them in half. They don't wrinkle up. You can get in those little tight nooks and crannies. They come in all the different various grit offerings, 120,
Configurations.
220, 180, 150, all those things. And they have their new little MDF blocks with the sandpaper on the other side, and a little built-in sanding block. Yeah, so if you're tired of using your oscillating sanding pads with the holes in them that get snagged on all the corners, you should get some Grit Grip sandpaper. Put it in your hands, and if you use coupon code GRIT-10.
Nice.
Is that right?
Nice.
10% off your order. I almost said grip-10, but it's grit-10. I'm doing this without any notes, so
This is impressive.
give me
Yeah,
a
that was
little
good.
leeway here.
Hell yeah.
All right, we do have one other sponsor, which is our buddy Bill Burkle at WTB Woodworking, who I spoke to today, because not only does Bill have lumber that he mills and dries and all the high-end tools you can think of, Shape of Origin, Lamello, Festool, everything. He sells plywood. And I said, Bill, I can't find ash veneer plywood anywhere. Can you get it? Yeah. No problem. Hang on. Calls me right back. Yep, I can have it in Thursday for really cheap. So now, granted, I have to drive 2 hours to get it, but it's always a good reason to go down and visit Bill, because he's constantly expanding the store. I suppose he's going to be blowing a wall out. And listen what he's got coming, folks.
Uh-oh.
He's going to be a Maffel dealer soon. Do any of you guys own any Maffel tools?
I want to get
Or have
that
you ever
chain
heard of 'em?
mortar. Yeah.
No.
The
Maffel
chain
down
mortar-
time.
Do they have that big giant circular saw?
Yes.
Like
yes.
12-inch one? Yes.
And I think they have a dowel joiner that has like 3 heads or 3 drills on it, so you can for dowel joinery. Anyway,
his
their track
prison.
saw supposedly is high end, one of the best, maybe better than Festool. I don't know.
Whoa,
Yeah,
careful.
challenge.
Uh-oh.
So he expects to have those in the store by end of April. And the other big thing he's got going on right now is a micro jig giveaway. It's going to be live until April 18th, drawing being pulled on IG Live on the 19th. And it's valued at over $1,200. I didn't even know that. I didn't know Micro Jig had that much stuff until I went down to his store and saw all the accessories and goings on they have. So be sure to sign up WTBwoodworking.com/giveaway to get in on that. Our buddy Eric Curtis is going to be down there this Saturday doing a demo on the Shape of Origin. Fortunately, I won't be there because I'll be at JLC in Providence. And Festool apparently is coming on April 2nd from 9 to 1 to demo Festool tools. Maybe they're going to show the new stuff, the new air vacuum, whatever that thing's called. What is it? Air filter thing?
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe they'll have the what's the
Lunchbox.
robot thing?
Oh,
What's that called?
Exoskeleton.
Rock
Yeah,
and
the
sock and robot
exoskeleton.
suit.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a good video. Put the exoskeleton on and then try
then
to
fight
get in a
to the
street
death?
fight.
Fight with it. Yeah.
Dude, what if they can hack into that and all of a sudden like start programming the code so it really does start punching
They
people?
could
or
take
kicking
control
people?
over all the drywallers across the country.
I know.
Did you hear
They can
that
do
when
all
they
my
were-
ceiling painting.
when they were developing it, they actually had to lower the strength of it because
Guys
they
in
were
the back
worried.
were
Bones were
beating the
snapping.
crap out of each other.
No, they were worried about people doing stupid stuff with it.
Like handstands in
Iron
the
Man.
building.
Yeah, but could you
So what
imagine
people
they
were just
put it-
throwing sheets of plywood?
heaving them across their shop? Hey, honey, catch
frisbee.
this.
So that's it for WTB Woodworking. Go check it out. Go to their online store. You can buy pretty much anything there.
Alex Adams
and they
says
ship.
that hackers would drop penises all over the drywall,
Yeah, that's true.
which is a fair point.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, good Lord. Well, I think that's about the end of the show now. The ad reads
Yeah.
are done.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody,
yeah.
thanks for
Thanks
10 minutes
for
of
having us.
bald
So did
average.
we have you? I still am confused on this.
Well, technically, you guys are on our streaming service.
That's true. We did set
Well,
this
I'm
all
still
up.
confused because on Derek's camera, is that something in the background or does he have an epic man bun?
Oh,
Oh.
no, it's just
That's his needle
something in the
point.
background. Okay, I thought that was like a very like Asian man bun that you had going on there. You look like
Yeah,
a geisha girl.
I'm gonna have to redo this back here now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm more interested with that VCR from 1980, and does that a dual DVD and VHS player?
That
Betamax.
it is, yes.
What a time to be
Nice.
alive.
It's for my classic game console setup.
Oh, okay. I thought you
You
just
gotta
had
play
an
him on
old-
the CRT, otherwise it doesn't look quite right.
That's right.
that doesn't
you
capture that
guys-
vintage feel.
Are you guys the people that still collect like DVDs and CDs and stuff, or have you long ditched physical media?
I don't even think I got started on that.
Yeah. I'm out on the physical media. I hate clutter, so I try and get rid of as much as I possibly can. Although I have an extremely cluttered background behind me, so what the hell do I know?
I'm such
I
a
still have
lazy
them.
consumer of media. If it's not just like on the TV when I turn the TV on, then I won't watch it.
Yeah.
You don't even flip.
No. Last night I started watching some movie about some like, I don't know, satanic like demon that possessed somebody. I didn't want to watch it. It was just on when I turned the TV on and I was too lazy to find the remote.
Wow.
So this is the classic dad move, right? Like your wife's probably watching something on TV. You're in the kitchen. You kind of look over the island. You kind of look what she's watching. You go, this is stupid. 5-10 minutes goes by. You slowly start sneaking closer
Oh,
and
yeah.
closer and closer to the point where you now your hands are on the back of the couch,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Do you want to sit down and watch the show?" And you're like, "No, no,
No, I'll just be here for a second.
This is dumb.
Yeah, and you
That
end
is
up
exa-
watching the entire movie without ever sitting down and getting comfortable.
You are describing how I've watched every single minute of reality TV.
I was going
in
to say
my
of Love Island.
life. Yeah, exactly. Love Island, the circle or whatever.
Oh, it's bad though. It's bad, but well, let me ask you guys. Keith, I feel like I've been talking to you endlessly for the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Jason, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, I've been over at the cabin trying to finish that thing up, doing trim work, hating my life,
Yeah.
contemplating ways to end it.
How are the stairs going?
The stairs are gone.
You got to tell Zach this story. I don't think Zach knows.
Yeah,
this
I'm
story.
not all caught up.
So we bought this cabin that was built in 1976.
Well, not that far back. Just the stairs.
Well, I
part.
gotta set up the story, or it doesn't make any sense. We
I was in
started
third
working
grade.
on it. We went to get permits to do a bunch of stuff on the inside of the cabin, and the county was like, "Hey, we realized that when the house was built in 1976, they never got their final inspection. So you still have to get your final inspection from 1976
Okay.
in order to
Do
like
they apply
complete."
1976 building code standards, or is it today's building code standards?
It's today's building code standards, which means that
Perfect.
nothing in the house is
Perfect.
grandfathered in. Everything has to be brought up to code.
Oh God, what a nightmare!
Which includes this staircase, which is the only way to get upstairs. And in order to build it to code, it's got to be like ridiculously wide. It's got to be right at the front door. It's this monstrosity. So my plan was to fool the building inspectors, build a fake staircase, pass
Okay.
final inspection, then rip the whole thing out,
Gotcha.
build it the way I want to build it. I've been very secret about this. I haven't really told anybody except the
Yeah, you
podcast.
can't really
and
say
mentioned
that
it
in
in
a
multiple
YouTube video.
videos.
Except the
Yeah.
YouTube video.
Yeah. The inspector came out. I got the feeling he might have watched a couple of those videos because although he did pass the staircase, we didn't pass the first 2 times because he was giving us these lists of like ridiculous things that I never even like heard of an inspector calling out before. Like there was no trim on the door into the garage on the garage side. So he made us put MDF trim up because of a fire barrier. He's like, you got to have that 3/4 inch MDF up there in case there's a fire. Just stupid stuff like that. But we passed, and then I ripped the stairs out. So now it's time to build the new ones.
Ooh.
Mm.
Nice. I have done that multiple times for just you gotta. Sometimes you get good inspectors. Other times you get guys who are so by the book that you just have to do everything to please them, and then rip it out afterwards, or do it the way you want to do it once they're gone and everything's signed off.
Exactly. Yep. So that's what we're gonna do. And then I was gonna build them. I have a kind of an idea in my head on how to build them. And then this company, let me see if I can find the name of the company in my inbox real quick. I should probably give them credit. They reached out to me. They're literally 15 minutes down the street from me, and they do high-end wooden staircases. And they were like, "Hey, we should do a collab together." And I was like, "Well, this is good timing because I got this staircase that needs to be built."
Impeccable timing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
jeez.
So they're like, "Well, that's kind of a boring staircase by our standards, but we'd love to, help you out with it." So I think they're gonna help me build the staircase, and then I'm gonna do like a tour of their factory because they do like crazy. I can't find the email, but like crazy, like spiral, like giant staircases with like
That's cool.
curved handrails and like all these different angles and stuff. So they
Yeah.
definitely know what they're doing. They come in, they take like a 3D scan of the space and build it all out in CAD first. So
Stairs are one of those things that's actually remarkably hard, and you can build an entire business around just doing stairs because it is so specialized at the end of the day. It's crazy.
yeah.
If you had
But
a
I was
stair
working
business,
all
what would you
week
name it?
on the trim package on the inside of the house, and I was really stupid. And instead of just doing base trim, I was like, I'm gonna do this decorative plate rail with beadboard, which means you basically have to trim the house out like 4 times with all the different like layers on there. And yeah, I'm
Levels.
not done yet. I got to go back over on Thursday and finish it because painters come on Monday, so under the gun.
So why did you decide to trim it out yourself?
That's a great question
Content.
there, Eric.
Everything's content.
Is it
Content,
content?
He's got a YouTube channel. He needs to put a video out every week.
Eh?
Well, if you buy a house for a tax write-off, but you don't actually have any proof that you did any of the work, then the IRS
Yeah.
might get mad. Although the IRS seems to not be in existence anymore, so who knows?
So you're just doing a little work here and there, and just
Here
being
and
like,
there, do some videos on it. Yeah, no, we've got a lot of content out of that. So that was the purpose of it, is give us something to do content on, and we're getting close to the end.
See, trimming out the house seems like one of those things that you tell yourself, take a week, and then you start coming into all of these different issues of like,
Mhm.
okay, well, it's not just putting in the trim, even if you buy it pre-primed, if you're painting it, right? Then you got to paint it. Where the hell am I going to put 40 sticks of 12-foot long trim and effectively paint it? And you know what I mean? Like it's a huge undertaking.
I put them on the wall. Then I
You nailed
hire a
them to the wall?
painter to come in and paint them all. Yeah, I'm not painting them. Definitely not doing that. But the problem is, like, it would, like this size house, it would take somebody a week, depending on the person's level of like accuracy that they wanted to
Right.
obtain. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, your average weekend warrior would probably go and slap all the trim up in 3 days. I just can't. My brain doesn't allow that to happen. I gotta make sure every miter's like as close and tight and everything as possible, which is annoying. And that's what.
But you said you're going to paint it all, right? So there's a little bit of
No, and
forgiveness.
see,
there.
that's
You
the
can-
other thing is you're like, oh, I mean, this is probably good enough. You could hide it with caulking. You're gonna paint it.
Yeah.
If you don't get it close enough and you just fill it with caulking, then it pulls apart later and opens
Yeah.
up.
Sinks in.
I will tell you one amazing thing for doing trim that's going to be painted when you have miters that won't close up, because lots of guys will fill it with wood filler, which is going to crack and fall out, or they'll fill it with caulking, which is going to shrink and be really obvious. Thixo from Total Boat works so good because it fills the voids. It's rock solid. You can sand it and it never opens up again. It works really well.
Total
I've
ball,
been-
baby.
Good to know.
I've been using that on like some cabinet doors and stuff. When you put your rail and styles together, sometimes you have just a hairline crack or whatever. Thixo on that. The only bummer is it takes like a whole day for it to cure. But I mean, it is
You can get the
rock
fast cure stuff, but it still takes a while before you can like
Yeah.
sand it and work with it.
Right. And they
You do have
say
to be
the
careful
fast
if it's
cure-
like depending on what you're doing, if you get it in the grain, because it's not coming out of the grain once you get it in the grain.
But if for like paint grade, it's perfect.
For paint grade
teeny
stuff,
tiny
it's great.
spots.
Yeah.
I love that Thixo stuff.
But
I
like
didn't
doing
realize-
door trim, like with because I'm doing miters, I'm not doing like a cap on the top, so it's like a miter wrap around but those miters are
Ooh.
really hard to get like perfectly together. And I used a lamello. Keith, you should be
Mm.
proud of me. And I clipped them
I am.
together. But even then, there's like
Gold
just
star.
hairline cracks. Fill that with thick sew and sand it back. Disappears.
Now, would you say, Jason, with your trim, like your level of perfection you're going for, would you say this is above, at, or below average of expectations?
Of what? You cut out.
Like, how good of work are you looking for? Like, are you like, this needs to be like a good 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10?
It goes down the more cuts I make. Like, the first cut, I'm like, all right, this is going to be a 10 out of 10. And then I go back to the miter saw and trim a little bit off. And I'm like, all right, I'll settle for a 9.5.
Yeah.
And then trim a little bit more. And then pretty soon I'm like 7, whatever, I'm moving on.
Yeah. You just get
no,
tired of it.
you do get tired of it. There are some times where like you already have a piece nailed up and you're meeting into a corner and you just literally, you can't do anything. Like you've already screwed yourself into a corner. You're not going to be able to get it perfect. And sometimes you just got to walk away unless you pull the other board off, but then you start doing that. And then where does it end? I can't imagine Keith trimming out a house. I feel like that would take years.
When I used to work for my uncle as a finished carpenter, he used to hate me because I would go back and caulk and fill in all the nail holes of all the trim I did. He'd be like, "What are you doing? That's the painter's job." I'm like, "Yeah, but your painters suck and they make my work look like crap." So, a really good painter can make a crappy job look really good, or they can make a really good job look crappy.
Yeah.
So I would always do that because for my own self-worth and my own peace of mind, I'm like, I want this to look good when I walk away.
Yeah.
But
our general contractor was like, he asked how it was going, and I was like, "Oh, I'm almost done. I just have to fill all the nail holes and caulk everything." And he was like, "Your painter's not going to do that?" And I said, "Well, yeah, they will if I want them to, but it completely depends on who gets that job that day."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Like,
that's
the
like
guy that's really good
job.
at it, or the guy that just wants to get it done and start spraying paint and just
The guy that just smears it in with his finger. Like I have this little pry bar tool that I wrap in a rag, and I use that to get in the corners to get all the caulk nice and sharp and crisp. None of these giant gorilla finger.
Oh, see, I always use the pinky finger. I got a really perfect shaped pinky finger, and it's just,
you have
I always have
a
a wet rag with me, so I do a nice. Well, I get my finger wet first because a wet finger works way better than a dry finger.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that. Okay,
clip that.
That's a good life lesson there. Get the finger wet first, then you run it along.
Sorry, Mary.
The hardwood, and then you wipe it off.
Ah.
Are you a water or a Windex guy?
Oh, water.
I'm
Windex. I've never
Windex
heard of
guy.
anybody using Windex.
Yeah,
I think that's really for on tile, but not like I'd be afraid that going against.
I'll use like if you're using the outdoor sealant, I'll use soapy water because then it doesn't stick to your fingers and you can kind of mold it. Like if you're doing like windows and doors and stuff like that. But yeah,
I saw a video from a guy like at a trade show, and he had this invention. It was just a rubber finger for like caulking.
That Jimmy DeResta.
Yeah, probably.
Was it a joke though?
No, I don't think so. I think he was like really selling this like rubber finger. Like then your fingers don't get dirty. You just use the rubber finger.
People come up with the most asinine inventions.
Well, they do
I bet he
have
used
those
his on his asinine too.
To wipe his asinine. They do have those little right angle pieces of plastic that people use to square up like caulk and go along the joint instead of their fingers. Like that's
I always have a little like tip of a shim that I tuck it in my hat when I'm doing caulking, and I'll pull it out, and it works really good to get in like corners and smooth stuff out.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Does anyone actually use those like rubber little like?
No,
like,
I was going to say,
tubes?
like, I've seen those advertised, and to me, that looks like a great way to make a horrible mess.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
It's always like the size of like a credit card or something like that. I'm like, how can you ever have any control? Or just going to smear the caulk all over the place.
Yeah. Well, you don't want them to have a messy caulk job.
No.
Nope.
Be an issue. Too many caulk jokes. That's for sure.
Yeah.
They're never ending.
That was the
They should come up
foundation of
with
our podcast. Remember that, Eric? I feel like the first 10 episodes was just us joking around about caulk.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry, Mary.
And somehow we got to 150 episodes, 57 episodes in.
You didn't get canceled yet. So you're
No,
doing
not
something
yet.
right.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Hmm.
Well, Keith, what have you been up to, man?
I just finally released my YouTube video on the window seat that took 3
You have a
months.
YouTube channel?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Did you ever
just started.
Did you ever figure out how to film it? Did you just flood it with extra lights so it wasn't all blown out?
I used my iPhone.
Ah,
It's the only thing that would auto correct the lighting. So,
yeah.
or if I wanted to use my regular DSLR, I would have to wait till nighttime when the sun wasn't
Like
coming
a vampire.
through. Yeah. So all my like glamour shots at the end are all at nighttime. That way the windows are dark.
I gotta say, Keith, when we've been talking about this project for the last 2 years on the podcast and how you've been building
Roughly.
it and putting it together, I formed a picture in my mind of what this thing must look like. And in my mind, it was very big and extravagant. And then you sent me the picture and you're like, it's done.
It's 4 feet wide.
It's so small.
The camera adds takes off 6 inches, so it's not that small.
Right. Jason, you're probably like, Craig and I would have knocked that out in 2 days.
To be honest, there was a lot of it just sat there for one time just for a week because I was waiting for the paint to dry on the face frame. So I didn't do anything with it. And believe me, there wasn't like I wasn't working on it for 3 months straight. The actual amount of days, I think when I checked my timeline was like 12 days. So it's not that it took that long, just there was a lot of time in between work because to be honest, I was feeling very lazy at the beginning of this year. So I took a mini shop vacation and I was messing. I had a lot of 3D printing stuff going on and I didn't have a sponsor for the video, so I was really dragging my feet hoping that something would come in, and it didn't. So which is fine because I had to really hack that video to make sure it was under 40 minutes. I don't know if you guys do anything with time now. Like it used to be way back, it was like 7 to 8 minutes or 8 to 10 minutes was the ideal spot, and then it kept getting bigger, 12 to 15 and then 20, and now it seemed like it didn't matter how long it is, but I feel like when people look at something and it's 40 minutes, it's like it's an investment. So if I can keep it at like 39,
37 minutes.
Really?
Really? Wow.
Jason, I feel like in our space, you're one of the people who trailblaze that. Everybody's putting out like 10-minute videos, and Jason's like, I don't care.
Dude, everybody at the beginning of YouTube told me they're like 12 minutes is the sweet spot. You don't want to go over 12 minutes. And I tried to edit my first video, and I was like, it's an hour and a half. And then I got it down to 37 minutes, and I was like, that's it. I'm putting it out. I'm done working on this.
I don't even know if I could do a 10-minute video. Just the intro and outro.
That's
like 2 minutes at least.
4 minutes right there.
You'd be like, can I build my lumber? It's a table saw. See you guys next week.
It's kind of the running joke in my shop with Craig that like every project we start, I'm like, dude, I think this is only going to be a 15-minute video. I think we could do it. And it's always like close to 40 minutes every single time, no matter what the project. It could be like a one-day build. It doesn't matter.
Hey,
it's just real time.
But if people watch it,
it's
the video,
more ads.
The video that's coming out this Saturday is another Craig build. It's a project he's been working on in his house for the last, I don't know, a few months. And he filmed the whole thing, over the course of months. And he dumped all the footage to edit it. And he had 24 and a half hours of footage for this project.
Wow, that trumps
it's like
me.
Over a day of solid footage that he had to wade through.
Can your iPad handle that?
I think it did. I haven't sat down to voice it over yet. I don't even know what the video looks like. We'll see. I think he got it down. He's like, I got it down to 50 minutes. I bet I can get it down to 20 something.
That's usually where I start, though. 50 minutes to an hour is like when I start voicing over and doing the final chip, chop, chip.
Yeah, 40 minutes for me. Usually I start with like 3-4 hours and then chop that down.
Yeah, but you have an editor.
Yeah, but I still get in there and I still like to tool around.
Like to pretend he had a part in it, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I like to be able to say that I worked on that bit a little bit too.
It was co-edited by Zach Builds.
He mixes the eggs in, doesn't do any of the other baking, but he mixes the eggs in.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've been working on, and I got all the plans ready to go for my next build, which is this big TV. I think I showed you guys this
You're
is
building the TV.
Oh,
TV
the one you showed us, the
console.
little model.
Well, this is
Oh,
now
yeah.
3D printed model.
Oh yeah. So-
Nice.
Jason, Keith is starting a miniature woodworking channel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think he's the one that's been doing that secret miniature channel all these years.
I mentioned that last time. I don't know who, why. I think they stopped. It was so good. It was like
It
all
was
these
really
little
good.
little block plane.
Everyone had theories on like who it was. Did anybody ever figure it out?
No, I don't think
That's
so.
what I know of.
It's a small audience, you know.
Yeah.
But
Get it?
First,
Yeah.
I get it.
hey, I guess I tried. That was the best I had for jokes.
It's not
but-
bad.
Zach, what have you been doing, man? What's going on in your world?
I've been playing with my new 3D printer.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell
Did
us.
you get
Do
yours?
tell. No,
Oh,
because
Keith
we're
got
still
really
in
excited.
contract negotiations.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I haven't got it
Yeah,
yet.
so
But
long story short, this thing's 3D printer and a vinyl cutter and a laser cutter all wrapped into one machine. So apparently, I was reading today. I thought it was limited to cutting 1/4-inch plywood, but apparently you can do up to 3/4. So you can even make little templates with it. They have two lasers. They have a 10-watt laser and a 40-watt laser.
What's
so
a template?
like, damn it!
Is that kind of like a template?
Yeah. You got my
Okay.
It's
Canadian
Canadian version.
Oh,
all right, but explain this to me. Like what is like the honeycomb under the laser? What's the fume extraction like? I mean, how does that all happen in that
so
little thing?
I guess you can't see it, but they sent me a big fume extractor box that sits under. It's like basically a big fan with a bunch of filters that'll pull air through it. They have a separate build plate for when you're using the printer, or it's one that magnetically attaches, right? So you take out the normal one, drop it in. It's a honeycomb style grid.
Okay.
Pretty good, honestly. I cut some plywood with it. It's in my office. My office like smelled a little bit like burning for 10 minutes or something like that, but it wasn't smoky or anything in here. So pretty happy with it so far. And cutting vinyl and stuff like that has been great.
All right. What
Does it
about
print
this?
faster?
Because good.
What's
That
that?
is a question.
I was just gonna say, does it print faster?
I think it prints a little bit faster. It has a high flow head that does 3 times more volume of filament than the normal one does. But you're still in certain situations, you're only limited by how fast the head can move, which I don't know if the head is that much faster than. And it's got 2 nozzles. So if you're printing something with supports, it can swap back and forth between the support and the regular filament without having to purge it and switch it. So if you're printing like a dual material build, it's so much faster.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I guess with the laser, my question was, because I have a laser and I have a 3D printer, and I know how much dust and smoke gets generated inside that laser. So what
Yeah.
happens with all that dust and stuff all over your belts and your rods and your cones?
It's a good question. I've seen a lot of people speculating.
My
I
rods and
haven't,
cones are all screwed up.
I haven't run enough material. Like I've only done like 4 or 5 laser cuts on it. But the ones I did do, I gotta say, there's not that much dust or anything left in there. But I'm only cutting thin material, like 1/4-inch ply. So
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe when you step up to bigger stuff, maybe it's worse. But I think the filtration system in it's pretty robust.
It would have to, because I'd see. My concern is it would get all gummed up with all sorts of nonsense, right? With
Yeah.
laser.
Yeah,
'Cause you're
you should feel it
burning
when you
stuff.
turn on the dust extractor. It's moving air through it.
Yeah, but it
I
still doesn't
use
get
my
everything.
printer
Somewhere?
to print articulated dragons and eggs. It's pretty cool.
Child's toy.
See, I've just kind of started getting into the whole 3D printing thing as far as like products and whatnot. And like, it's fun. I know, Keith, we were talking about this. It gives you kind of like just a break from, sitting near your computer hacking things around and whatnot. But I don't know how people run these like print farms.
I don't either.
Or they're running
Yeah.
like 50 machines at once. Like you go to press
Yeah.
print. How do I know I even sent it to the right printer?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I think they have like software that like sits on top and controls the print. Like there's like another layer of software that you can get, I think. But yeah, I don't know. We should talk to Travis from Shop
We should
Nation. See what he
Ask our
does.
sponsor.
J-Cats. He's got a
Yeah, how
farm.
many does J-Cats have now? J-Cats got
He
like-
bought
He's got
20, didn't he?
30,
Oh, 30.
Yeah,
but he was just telling me that he wants to come out with, or he wants to get 30 more.
yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well,
they are, I can't tell you what it is because it's confidential, but he's got a new huge product launch coming out that's very heavily 3D printed.
Okay.
And he's worried about keeping up with the 30 that he has.
Yeah,
Wow.
that makes sense. That makes sense. My biggest issue is like the stuff that I've developed on 3D printer is it's too big. So I can only print one product at a time, and the product takes 2 hours to print.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's why you
Well,
need
you're only
printing.
printing a half. You're only printing.
Well,
right
I
now.
know it's because it's so Jason and I, you know, the new Festool sustainers, they have like little like notches on the side of them.
Mm-hmm.
You can get these little rails that you put in like a van or whatnot, right? The problem is when you put them in there, you can't open the case up. You have to take the entire case out, open it up, then like put your tool back in or whatever. On Fusion 360, I've modeled and developed this thing where you can screw it to the side of your cabinet, no problem. Then you pull it out and the rail like actually slides out as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
So,
nice.
but they're 11 inches long. So the only way I can print it on the 3D printer is like diagonally.
Oh,
And so you
Eric,
obviously need
I
Yeah.
gotta tell you,
air.
You need the
H2D,
HD.
you
I
can print
know.
them flat. You can print like 10 of them side by side.
That would be nice. That'd
Yeah.
be real nice. But,
Could you print them diagonally, like in the
Whoa.
Z-axis as well on yours? You might need supports, but you could
Maybe.
probably do a bunch at once that way.
Yeah, that seems like a pain in the ass, though.
Oof.
So here's how little I know about 3D printers, all right?
Tell
I
me.
didn't even fully remember the name of the one I have, okay?
Yeah.
I knew it started with a B. And I bought it fully myself.
Babka?
Nobody gave it to me. And then the agency I work with for all my sponsorship stuff, they wrote me an email and they're like, hey, this company wants to sponsor you. And I was positive it was the 3D printer company because it started with a B and it sounded very similar. I was like, sweet. And they're like, here's a link to get on their website. And they give you like a certain amount of money. You can add whatever you want to your cart.
Right.
So I click on the link. And apparently my 3D printer is bamboo. And the link that they sent me was Bombas, which are
Oh, the socks.
So
Common mistake.
I was pretty excited to get a bunch of 3D printing stuff, and I ended up with a bunch of socks.
Hey, nobody is upset about getting some socks, though.
Yeah.
Especially Bombas.
Yeah,
Are they good
Number one.
socks?
Yeah,
I haven't
Bombas
got 'em
and
yet.
Darn
I
Tough
just
are the best in
put
the
in my
world. pretty
order.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Socks is hot. Socks are a hot topic, though. I mean, there's so many different options. Like, do you go wool socks? Do you go cotton? No one knows.
It depends on the scenario. I wear wool socks in the wintertime or for outdoor activities where if they get wet, you still want them to be warm, you know.
Yeah.
True.
Summertime,
True.
wool can be a little, hot, and then your feet can kind of get sweaty. You know, you don't want sweaty feet.
But I thought the selling point about wool, or at least big wool and all the wool industries, are trying to tell you that, like, if you wear wool socks even in the summer, if your feet sweat like crazy, since they don't retain moisture, that they're supposed to be like more comfortable. I've not experienced that personally.
Yeah, but your feet still feel sweaty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Moisture's got to go somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you do about sweaty feet? I mean, I feel like
Sandals.
it's just a facet of life.
Oh
Flip
god, yeah,
flops.
Crocs
Crocs, yeah.
Yeah.
or
That's the worst.
Birkenstocks.
Just shop sandals is what you need.
Little
And then
Gold
there's
Bond
legs.
powder.
Wicked
Ew.
way.
Like if you wear ankle socks now, you get clowned on by young kids.
Yeah, apparently ankle socks are out. All the kids are wearing
Yeah,
like,
ankle socks
towel
are out.
sock.
They're all wearing like.
But then in
knee-high
the
socks.
summertime, you get
Yep.
funny tan lines. Then you go to the
I
pool
know.
and you got these
I
like
know.
Then you got
perma-white
legs like
feet.
me, all white as mashed potatoes.
So what kind of socks are you supposed to wear golfing?
I wear ankle socks. They're probably a polyester mix, lycra spandex. I don't know.
Banlon,
What percentage of lycra would you say? 6, 7,
half
8?
cotton, half linen, half gabardine.
The gabardine. Hey, is that the free, the actual good koozie that you got? Is that a Yeti one?
It is a Yeti one. Yeah, it's not the
Oh.
the Festool one's downstairs. I don't know where this one's from. I put my logo over it.
Well, hey, I've got Keith. I know Zach, Deric. I was telling you guys about this. I finally finished after too much damn time editing and all the back end nonsense of putting together an online course, dear God, that was an undertaking.
I feel like last week
done.
you just told me you finished writing it.
No. It's been going for a couple weeks, but
Okay.
it's that was an absolute nightmare of doing
Editing it all?
that.
Or just
What
the
was your
process in general?
motivation in doing this?
It for an online course.
Money.
Money.
Okay.
Cheddar,
So-
baby. Cheddar.
Here's the thing, Jason. I don't want to build drawer boxes ever. I also don't want I don't mind building like doors and drawer fronts and stuff like that. So my idea was, what if I make a course that's like a couple hours long, all about drawer boxes, shaker style doors and drawer fronts, and then cabinets. So now anytime in any project, I can just kind of breeze through those portions and pitch the course every single time.
So your entire video is, this is how I built a face frame. If you want to see the rest of the video,
Don't buy
go
this
buy
course.
my course.
Right.
It's behind a paywall.
Right.
I
So
like it. Okay.
well, especially with the drawer boxes, like, I mean, Keith, we talked about this. Like,
It's kind of
you're-
like when you see an interesting news article pop up and you click on it and it's like,
Ready to
to read
continue.
the rest of the article, buy a subscription to USA
Mhm.
Today.
and
The
no
New
one
Yorker.
does.
Yeah.
No, they just look for it somewhere else for free.
Well, what inspired me was Keith's Modern Wood Academy. I was like, I
Oh,
gotta
God.
get in on
That
that.
should have been a de-inspiration. After that,
So you did
hell.
this on your own though? Like you weren't doing it through a company like Teachables or something?
I did it on my own, yeah, because I mean, I talked to Keith, and he said it was such a nightmare with the company that he's worked with and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So,
punishment.
I mean, honestly, the scripting it took a long time. The editing was easier to edit that than it was a YouTube video, because like the YouTube videos, you gotta have it snappy, you gotta have it interesting and whatnot. And this, I could just
There you
kind
go.
of. The anomaly here that Jason's just
yeah.
like, oh, excuse me, I sneezed in the middle of a voiceover, and it's
Yeah.
like all good. I haven't seen your bear attack in a while.
Yeah, so that kind of backfired. I was getting emails from viewers begging me to stop because they're like, it used to be my Saturday morning routine to watch your videos with my young kids, and they loved them. And now my kids are scared to watch your videos because they're
Oh.
afraid of the bear.
Oh no.
And I felt really
Oh.
bad, so I pulled the bear attack.
What about if you do involuntary cute puppies?
Oh.
Cute
Just-
kitties. I'll send
yeah.
you pictures
I
of
just don't
Lola and
think that has
Jerry.
the same effect.
No.
Paddington attack.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
bear attack. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like you could find something fun though, but
Yeah.
no, that course thing was a massive undertaking, and all the back end stuff, and then
Yeah,
Having-
so do you finally settle on a service that you're going to use for it?
yes.
Okay,
So
hit me.
there's a million different companies out there. You can use Podia, you can use Kajabi, you can use Teachables, you can use Skillshare, all these other things. They're expensive. They're like $150 a month for their service. And the problem is it takes you off of your platform onto someone else's. So it's like a really weird user experience where the branding isn't the same, and like the colors and the interface and stuff isn't the same. So the one that I had found, and I was talking to Scott about it as well, is called Tavello. It's on Shopify. $19 a month, unlimited everything. It's like, that's not bad for like hosting the videos. It's all native on the website. So it's like you purchase the course, you enroll in the course, and it's on my website, and it all looks good. It looks cohesive, and it's just like an easy experience for everyone. And so far, so good. It just obviously takes a little learning of how to like navigate it and set it up and whatnot, but not bad. Now I feel like Keith, where I haven't built anything in God knows how long though.
Yeah, I haven't made a cut in my shop because I went to the dump today. I was like, I have no scrap wood anywhere. I haven't made any scrap wood in 2 months to throw away. So
You calling
it's
Pete's
time to
house
start
the dump?
building. Pete's my auxiliary 3D printing farm.
No, I thought you
And
called his
it's where
house
I
the
dump all
dump.
my scraps usually.
Right. He a pen turner or something?
Is it? No, he just burns it all. He's got a fire pit. My HOA doesn't allow fire pits, so.
Oh, hey. Speaking of HOAs, I had a weird thing happen when I was trimming out the cabin. So
You tell.
I'm kind of in an HOA, and they have like noise rules that you can't be making like loud noises after 8 o'clock. But I'm trying to trim out this cabin. I'm working like 16-hour days, and part of
Got
doing
work to
this
do.
trim package is with the beadboard. The way I like to do it is I like to do the baseboard, but I put a rabbet on the top of the baseboard so that you can set the beadboard into the top of the baseboard. And then I do the same thing on the top cap. I put a little rabbet on it so you can set it on top. And that way you don't have to have your beadboard like perfectly even. You can worry more about your seams and then cover it all up. But I have to route out like a rabbet on all these pieces of trim. And it was like 9:30 at night and I needed more trim rabbeted out. But, you know, it's past when you're supposed to be making noise. And I wasn't going to do it inside because it's MDF trim.
Right.
So I did it all outside. Didn't think anything of it. Next day, it's like 10:30 in the morning. I'm working with the garage door open and I got my isotunes in listening to music and I look up and the police showed up at the house.
Was it about the body on your property?
No, this is a completely different house. They haven't found the body at this house yet. Anyways, the police roll up and it was one dude. He gets out of his car and he's walking down my driveway and I'm like taking out my isotunes. The first thing he says is, "We found you." And I was like, oh boy, this isn't going to go well.
That was 7 years ago.
And then he's like, "My name's Todd. I'm a huge fan." And he was literally just there because he found my house and he wanted to say hi.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It wasn't about the noise ordinance.
Nothing to do with the noise ordinance, but I was like ready to apologize and like I had it all in my head of like what I was going to say. And I thought he was going to write me some ticket, but no, he just watched a video and then he's like the local police officer in that community. So he found my house
boy.
after watching the video and then like stopped by to say hi. But he freaked me out, man.
So no
Yeah.
2 levels.
word from the Del Boca Vista HOA.
Nope. Nope. Phase 3 at the Pines of Clark Gable are all good.
See,
Always something with you.
See, you guys know this. I used to work out of the apartment garage. I never once got a noise complaint. I have no idea. Because that thing wasn't insulated. The table saw was screaming, routers were going like.
See, but I don't think it's as loud as you think it is. I'm always worried, even in my shop, which I'm out in the country a little bit, but I have a neighbor like pretty close by. I'm always worried about working late at night. But I don't think it's as loud outside as we think it is based on how
Yeah.
loud it is inside. Even with it like not insulated, I think it dampens the noise pretty good.
Well, and it has to
Set
go
off
through
your tool
their
and run down
exterior
the-
walls and come in. Like if you're just outside your garage, it's definitely loud outside. But in people's homes, for that
they're
noise
probably
to
sitting
travel
on the
in,
couch watching TV. They're not
Yeah.
listening to anything.
Yeah.
I'm around a bunch of old people. They're all deaf anyway. Like nobody can hear anything. I was really worried about that. But yeah, people they say they don't hear anything.
Yeah.
The
I've never
vast-
had. The only person that complains is sometimes my wife will be like, "Man, that dust collector is really loud." Just because it's more of the
Oh.
vibration. Like it's not
Yeah.
super loud. It's that Harvey thing. I think it just has like the vibrations, right? You can hear
Yeah.
it. But if she says if she's got TV on, she doesn't hear it.
But you
like a
you
low
insulated
hum.
that partition wall between your shop and the rest of the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, I'm surprised. You got to get
So-
some of the that double layer drywall or whatever that does
No,
ground
that's
insulation.
that's a never ending battle.
Is
I
it
feel-
against the wall though?
It is.
Oh, that's well. If
Ah,
it's
yeah.
rubbing against the wall,
Suspend
it's
it
going to
on
vibrate the wall.
cables
Just
so it's
just bring-
hanging in midair.
Yeah.
I mean, just pull it away an inch or so, so it's not in
Foam.
contact with the wall.
Well,
So
no,
the
no, no,
resonant-
it's not touching the wall. It's got like an inch or two gap and whatnot, but I feel like it's just probably close enough. Those vibrations are transferring through the wall,
Yeah.
But isn't it on concrete?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But, this is
Weird.
concrete from the late
Did you-
90s.
Did you
Different
bolt
time.
it to the concrete?
Yeah,
No.
really.
I bet if you bolted it down, it'd get rid of the problem.
Yeah, but then how would I
Shake the
clean
whole
those
house.
stupid filters on the side of that thing?
You just
You
throw it out and
unbolt
get
it
another
every
one.
single time.
Just throw it out.
Just put one of those vibrator things on there.
I know.
But then your wife would complain about that vibration, so then you're right back where you
No,
started.
she wouldn't complain. should ask if she can sit on it. Sorry, Mary.
There we go. So,
Sorry, Mandy.
Jason, you keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Wow, get slapped.
Yeah.
So, Jason, after having the Harvey one, the Harvey
Yeah.
dust collector, how do you like the Oneida? Is it like,
It's
dude,
so
I
much
wouldn't even
better.
go back?
Yeah, hands down, I would never go back. The Harvey one was great at a lot of things, but the infrequency that I have to change the dust bin on this one, because it's like a full 50-gallon drum under there. I mean, it's a huge thing.
It's
I
twice
can
the
go.
size.
I can go for weeks before I have to empty that thing. The Harvey one, I would empty multiple times a day, depending on the project.
Yeah. It's like if you're milling lumber, it'll
Yeah.
fill up in no time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I sometimes wouldn't even get all the wood for a project milled, and I, have to stop and go empty it. I mean, granted, it was really easy to empty, where this one is a little bit more difficult, but I mean, let's be honest, Craig's emptying it anyways.
You make them reuse the bags.
Yeah.
I reuse my bags.
I never, the entire time I had that Harvey thing, never changed the bags on it. I used the exact same 2 bags the entire life of that machine.
Wow.
I have my bonus ones underneath just in case I ever rip them, but I'm
I
planning
rip
on
them all the
never doing
time.
Well, we just gave that one away through the Katz Moses Woodworkers with Disability Fund, and I
Nice.
sent new bags with it. I took the old bags and threw them away, and I gave them brand new bags.
it.
So
What a gentleman.
yeah,
What a
thought that was
gentleman.
pretty nice.
So
You
what are
tell
you
'em about
gonna
the air compressor feature?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. I didn't like that. It hooks up to an air compressor to clean out the filters, which is good in theory, but it goes off like randomly, just like a gunshot, just sending a burst of compressed air through there, which is really annoying if you're trying to do like a talking head or something in the shop and you forget to shut it off. And even if you turn the compressed air off, you can still hear it click, like the little blast gate trying to open and close. So you have to turn the whole dust collector off.
Did it ever make you change your shorts when it first went off?
So yeah, when it first went off, because it would you weren't expecting it, and then you get used to it. But
Yeah. See, I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Wow, you went right up the
literally
dust
don't
collector on that
know.
one.
I don't know. Oh God. Well, Deric, you been doing anything exciting, man? What are you up to?
Oh no, we just had spring break, so I've been off. Haven't really
you've been
had a
on
chance to
daddy
do
duty?
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a smash room over the weekend. That was pretty fun.
What's that?
What is that?
So we took the kids to this place where they get like a whole room, and they give you like a couple crates full of like plates and records and
Oh, you literally
anything that
smash
you can
room.
smash. Yeah. And then there's hammers and bats and everything. And so they got this little table and you put it on the table and you just smash it.
That'd be a good
So the
time.
kids got to go nuts. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, that does sound fun.
Where do these rooms collect their items that they smash? Like, do they buy it in like pallets from like Salvation Army and Goodwill, or
Good
like where do these
question.
things come from?
They probably get those
That's
leftover
my guess.
pallets from John Malecki buying all that shit.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
be.
My guess is Goodwill.
Goodwill, yeah. Although Goodwill's expensive. I keep seeing these like TikTok videos and stuff of people holding up an item at Goodwill and they'll be like, it's $30, and then brand new at the store it's 25.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We've got one of those like secondhand thrift stores in our area where I've saw they had a Keurig machine, like the little coffee pod
Yeah.
thing. It was $200. I'm like,
Yeah.
pretty sure you can buy a brand new Keurig for like $70, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Keurigs are just free. Like they're just available. You can just grab them.
You
at
go
a
to
hotel
any
room.
like oil change place in the waiting room, they just have them sitting there.
Yeah, exactly.
Take that one.
Just take it.
Every single hotel room I've ever had has come with a complimentary
complimentary
Keurig.
Keurig.
I would never use one out of a hotel room.
Oh hell
No?
They always look
No,
disgusting.
yeah, me neither.
Ah,
I
yeah,
can
that's
never
true.
make coffee in a hotel. That's like a no-no.
You do feel like you're at a low point in your life if you're drinking coffee alone.
Well,
in your
you just
hotel
don't
room.
know who did what to that coffee
Yeah.
maker.
True. Well, you can say the same thing about the bed and everything else in that room.
Yeah, but I'm not putting
That's
the
why I
bed
sleep in the
inside
tub.
my mouth. Have
Wow.
you seen that guy on Instagram? He was viral for a while of like cooking meals in his hotel room.
No.
Oh
But
yeah.
he would like, it was so disgusting. He would
Yeah.
like take the sink and like stop it up. And then he had this
Oh.
heating element that he would put in the sink and like make soup like in the hotel sink.
And just lay in bed eating
Is
it.
it a bouillabaisse?
Yeah, or he'd like cook things in the coffee maker, or he'd like brine like a turkey in the bathtub and then figure out like his whole channel is just cooking inside the hotel. And his thing was like, I travel for work a lot. I have to figure out ways to still cook, but it was so gross.
Did he put a
Who's
garbage
the-
disposal in the shower?
Yeah, probably. He'd probably love a garbage disposal. in the
I
shower.
prepared this whole meal while I bathed.
He like had this rig that he set up the hair dryer and he like put a zip tie around it to hook it on and pointed at the towel rack, and he was like hanging strips of jerky over the towel rack with the hair
Amazing.
dryer like blowing on it.
Dehydrating them.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
I
can't
gotta
make
find
this
that
stuff
channel.
up.
There was
No.
a rapper who came out with a cookbook about what, like, prison cookbook. I gotta look this up. I think it was
Was it
Ja
Snoop
Rule.
Dogg?
Martha Stewart? Is that the one?
She is an ex-con.
So
Yeah,
the
she is
thing
true.
about the hotel rooms, right, is I don't know. When I was younger, whenever I would go to a hotel room with my parents, we were under the illusion that if you touched anything in the hotel room, it was $3 million charge. Like there's a water bottle in there, $3 million if you open it.
Yes.
And so
100%.
I'm
That's
at the
not-
point
that's pretty
now,
close.
even as an adult, like I go to hotels and I'm like, I don't even know if that coffee is free. I don't know if these tissues are free.
True.
Everything scares me, you know? I don't
True.
make
When
it
I
a
went-
big deal.
When I went to Switzerland, was it last year, the year before, to Lamello, my wife came over and we stayed a few extra days in Lucerne, which is this beautiful town, like Xanadu. And I was like, you know what? We never go on vacation. We're gonna find the best hotel right on the lake. It was like $1,200 a night. This place was a castle. It was
This guy's got
majestic.
YouTube money.
Yeah.
And so in the hotel room, you walk in and there's this selection of gourmet Swiss chocolates on the end table or on the whatever next to the
On the
bed. I was
shower
like,
floor.
ooh, beautiful chocolate. So it's like, yeah, let me try one of these and one of these. Dude, to get the bill, every single one of them was itemized on the
You gotta
bill.
be kidding me.
Wow.
And they were like $3-4 each for one little chocolate. You know, like at those after 8 dinner mints.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
like,
the
chocolate on the
Andes.
pillows. Yeah, I mean, that's complimentary, I would think.
Well, what are
Yeah,
you
you think-
supposed to do? Just like move it out of the way, put it in a strong box? What are you
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to do?
Yeah.
In a cooler. Yeah.
Like
I just sent you guys the that chef guy. His name is Barfley777.
are you
Sounds
sure
about
that's
right.
not barfly?
It's barfly, but that's okay.
No, it's Barfley.
Nacho dump and dump. Oh, is he gonna cook ground beef on the toilet?
Dude,
Oh
it's
my God.
it's horrible. It is so gross to watch, and he like is all into it. He's like
He
making
looks so
rotisserie
proud of
chicken
himself.
in bed. Like, yeah,
Kenny Rogers roasters.
exactly. It's terrible.
Oh God.
Steamed broccoli. Wow. All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That might be. my
We
new-
were staying at a hotel with a mini bar one time, and my wife wasn't aware that the mini bar situation is like if it comes out of the mini bar, you get charged for it.
Yeah.
So in her like innocent nature, she bends down in front of the like mini bar and she's pulling everything out and reading the ingredients and putting it back in and then pulling it out and like looking at the serving size. She did this to like every item in there. And then I like walked out of the bathroom and I was like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Well, I'm just seeing what I want." I was like, "You just paid for everything
Yeah.
that you
It's like
pulled out of
weight.
the mini bar."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
like
tell when you move it.
electronically, like, yeah, and sure enough, our bill comes and we were charged for everything in the mini bar.
How much was it?
A lot, I don't remember. But it was like we might as well eat it now, so we ate everything.
Took it with us.
Yeah, my son was really excited. He was with us, and he's like, "We get all this stuff." He down like 2 bottles of tequila.
Now, do you think, like, let's say, you know, they're in a mini bar or whatever. Do you think if you drank everything, filled it back up with water, and then put it back, that they
No, you
would?
get charged.
No, the
'Cause
second you
get
lift
charged
it.
the second you lift it out of there.
Yeah.
See, I've not been to one of these hotels before.
That's
I
a
don't know
nice
where you
hotel.
guys
That's a
were
nice
staying.
hotel. Yeah. I've only ever stayed at the hotels where the maid has to come through and check every day to see what you've devoured out of the mini fridge.
That's some high-tech technology. Like, why haven't we done that in the grocery stores yet? You know?
They have. Haven't you seen these Amazon stores?
Yeah, it's
where
like
you
the Amazon stores.
Yeah, you walk in and you just take stuff off the shelf and put it in your cart and walk out.
But
See,
that's
I'm
all
still-
cameras and AI.
Yeah.
I'm still living in the ages where I go to the self-checkout and I scan the thing, put it in the bag, and it's like, please scan your item. It's like, I scanned the damn thing. I scanned my bananas and I weighed them,
Yeah.
and you're still mad at me.
Hmm.
It's infuriating. You know,
Yeah.
you can't get.
Do you guys
through it.
ever get in a situation where you have to buy wood from Home Depot for whatever reason? This happened to me when I had to go get like 3 more pieces of trim because the trim package I ordered, I was like short. So I go into Home Depot and I get the trim. And of course, they come in like 16-foot runs. I don't need 16-foot runs. So I'm on the little cart in the frickin' aisle with a handsaw, like chopping off the excess that I don't need because it wouldn't even fit in my trailer at 16 feet. 14 is like the max I could get in my trailer. So I'm cutting them down. I measured everyone perfectly, cut it to 14. I have 4 pieces at 14 feet. All right. So that's what, 56 feet total. So I go up to the front. And the lady like scans it and she's like, we got to measure this. And I was like, well, it's 14 feet. I measured it. She's like, nope, we have to do it. So I stand one up. She's like, all right, that's 14 feet. Get the next one. I was like, it's the same length as you just need 14 times 4. There's 4 pieces. No, she made me pull every single one out, measure every single one, and then she entered each one individually. This one 14 feet. Scan the next one. This one 14 feet. And I'm like, this is so stupid. It drives me crazy every time.
Oh God!
I take it as a measure.
Hell.
I take it as a measure of how good of a people person I am every time I go into the Home Depot. Because sometimes I'll just push the cart up. I'll be like, there's 10 sheets of plywood here. And they'll be like, okay, 10. And they type it in. And they're like, good. But then other times they will, obviously, as you experience, double check your work. But, you know, I found it's about 50-50.
Yeah, it totally depends on who you get. Because I've had other people that they'll like scan something and it won't scan. And they'll be like, oh, we'll come back to that one. And they'll scan everything else. And I'm like, well, didn't you? Don't worry about it. It's like they know you're stealing it, but they just don't want to go through the effort of trying to look up a barcode. They're like, whatever, it's fine. Just take it. Go.
It's
just a refrigerator. Just take it.
Yeah.
But see, then on the other hand, you got like my local lumber guy that I show up. And the first time I met this guy, I was like, what do I owe you? And he just kind of looks at the stack of lumber and he goes, $300. And I was like, sounds good.
He eyeballed it.
Yeah, literally didn't measure a single thing. Just like, I don't know, made him 5 seconds and he just kind of threw out a number and he goes, by the way, cash only. I don't want the government knowing anything about this.
Well, there's your opportunity to negotiate then. If you
I know. I
come up
was
with
like,
a number. He only wants cash.
Well,
like,
slick.
back in
I only
5.
got
Yeah.
250 in cash. Suck for you.
How
Do
much
you take
got?
Applebee's gift cards?
I'll give you $250 and some hotel breath mints.
So while I was at the cabin, I called to get the cable hooked up because, so we had internet hooked up. And then the drywall guys, when they came into drywall, they literally just snipped off all the cable hookups coming through the wall and just drywalled over the top of them. And then at some point, somebody threw away our router and modem that was in there. So I had to have the cable company come out and put new lines into the house and then hook up a new router and modem. And so I made an appointment and the cable person shows up. Now, normally it's a cable dude. This time it was a cable lady, which is fine. I got nothing against that. I answered the door. I can't even say hello. The first words out of her mouth are, just so you're aware, sir, the cable company keeps close tabs on where I am and how long I'm at each job. So if I go missing, they will know about it. Like, this is how she greets me. And I'm like, never mind. I'm good. No, I didn't.
I actually don't need
my plan failed. Sorry. Go. It was just such a weird way to like introduce yourself. I don't know. It was strange.
Yeah, I mean, clearly she's had some issues in the past, I guess.
I guess so, but and not to like poo-poo on anybody, but this lady was like my Aunt Ida. I mean, she was
You're saying she's not abduction worthy.
she was not the typical.
She wasn't
target.
sponge-worthy?
She wasn't sponge-worthy.
Chris Hansen didn't pop up, and
If I'm going to abduct somebody, it's got to. No, I'm not going.
Yeah, I have qualifications for such things.
Well, that's pretty good. Hey, I feel like you guys wanted to tell me a couple returning top tier patrons, didn't you?
Did we, Keith? Do we want to tell the returning talk to? I can do it.
You can.
Hold on.
I didn't even mention new pay. I was figuring we'll do that on the next show, but.
Oh, well, I mean, you
the
guys
returning ones. We got some good ones like John Amick, Christopher Garza at Oil City Woodworks, Brandon Remy, one of my best friends in the world. After I spent a week at his house in Kansas, Chris Hewlett, Jenny Durbin, Jamie Gosney at Buzzsaw Creations, Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop, who's in the live chat right now. Tab Adams, Sean McDonald, Greg Sims, Steve Idarola, Kevin Daniels, Red Mill Custom Woodworking. I might have clicked the button wrong because
this Tab Adams was years ago.
I know these are really old. Oh wait, active patrons.
Why is it always default to people that were a patron 7 years ago?
I don't know. Let's see who we got here. Sean McDonald, Greg Sims, Paul Diabartolo, Bill Burkle, WTB Woodworking, also a sponsor. Jose Fantine, Fantine Woodworking, Henry Lutens, Aristotle Spira Plipli, Colin Rutherford, Ray Rodriguez, Mike Lyden, Jordan at Rustic Creations, Eric Spenceley, Nolan Russell, and Yono Reich.
Oh, all right. Well, we got a few returning top tier patrons. We'll keep ours short, so we can get over the after show.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Joe Welsh. This guy double dipping?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was ours first.
Got the double shout out.
Yeah. Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop. Goblin Spanker. You guys don't have a Goblin Spanker.
No, we need that.
We have
that in our life.
Spanker, but
yeah.
You can't have more than one Goblin Spanker. We have a pretty devout Goblin Spanker.
Yeah. Hey, everyone needs one in their life.
Yeah.
We got Corey Duvall and we got Josh at Sawdust Builds. So, whew. Nice. Well, did you guys get some questions that we need to answer over in the after show?
We got a couple. Got a good one from Fantine about some YouTube stuff and a couple others that I think we can dominate.
All right. Well, giddy up. Let's head over the after show, everybody. So you can either go to shopspatreon.com/shopsounds.
Sure.
That sounds about right.
That sounds good.
It's not shops page, it's just patreon.com/shopsounds.
Okay, yeah. Or you can go to patreon.com/offthecutpodcast, unlock the bonus show for this week and every week.
And you might win that $50 Katz Moses gift card next week, right?
That's right.
That's right.
You're damn right. See, Jason, look at that plug.
Somebody's paying attention.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be the winner of that, Jason.
Spend it on a bourbon blade. Or put it on layaway anyway for $50.
Does Cam Tools offer layaway?
I don't know. They
have a
should.
payment plan.
They have Klarna or whatever.
They have a firm you can break it into.
You got to go into the actual store and pay cash or write a check.
His brick and mortar. Dude, my first Nintendo system was on layaway. I went in like $5 a week to Bradley's
my first
department
bicycle
store.
was my first real bike. I bought it at Walmart on layaway. Yeah, it was a mountain bike.
For your paper route? Ooh.
No, just to be cool.
All right. Yeah. Did you have the little bell that went bling, bling?
No, but it had grip shifts, which I thought were super cool because I could pretend I was like a motorcycle.
Grit grip shifts?
No, grip shifts.
Oh. It was WBT Woodworking, right?
WBT. TB. William Tuberculosis.
Tuberculosis. Well, anyway, we're heading over to the after show, bonus show, whatever you want to call it, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Wait, is this another link we have to?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, Keith.
So we have to leave this and come back through the other thing?
Correct.
Yeah, we got to go through a different door, different portal.
Okay.
Gotta get in the time machine.
Okay, I'll see you in a second.
All right.
See ya. I
Okay.
gotta
We'll see ya.